120,000 people who love their homeland and whose fundamental attachment to their ancestral land is an essential part of their identity have been trapped in their homeland for 45 days, completely isolated from the world, having neither air nor land connection with the outside world, because the only road is closed by a group of Azerbaijanis acting under directions of the Azerbaijani government. This inhuman act resulted in an effective siege of Artsakh. To further aggravate the situation and cause excessive suffering, Azerbaijan, taking advantage of its control over critical infrastructure coming from Armenia to Artsakh, has deliberately cut off the gas and electricity supply. People have no gas. They are being supplied with electricity with 6 hours rolling blackout schedule with very limited domestic electricity resources. It has negatively affected all spheres of people's everyday life. The blockade has caused a sharp shortage of all vitally important supplies from Armenia, which average some 400 tons a day. Within 45 days, 18,000 tons of vital goods were not imported into Artsakh. Food supplies are running out fast without being replenished. To address the unfolding food crisis, the government of Artsakh introduced a ration stamp system using state emergency reserves. The entire population, including vulnerable groups, 30,000 children, 20,000 elderly, and 9,000 disabled persons are at high risk of malnutrition and starvation. The risk is extremely high for people who are in facilities with special diets, nursing houses, hospitals, psychiatric centers, etc. The longer the blockade continues, with the life-saving medicine becoming unavailable, with hospitals unable to provide necessary heating and hot water, the more it contributes to the reduction of essential medical services below minimum requirement. There is an acute shortage of all necessary medications. 490 people have been deprived of the opportunity to receive necessary medical treatment due to the suspensions of planned surgeries in all medical facilities. Only very few critical ill patients were able to be transported from Artsakh to Armenia with the help of the ICRC. The created humanitarian crisis has irreversible consequences, especially for children. Since January 18, all 117 schools and 41 kindergartens in Artsakh have been closed due to heating and electricity supply problems and insufficient food supply, depriving almost 30,000 children of the right to education. The psychological trauma of the blockade is particularly acute for children whose daily lives have been brutally interrupted. Many children who received periodic examinations and treatments in various medical institutions of Armenia have been deprived of this opportunity. Parents are unable to find baby formula or baby hygiene supplies to organize proper care of their children. Family members from Artsakh, Armenia, and around 20 foreign countries are unable to reunite due to the closure of the road. However, the blockade is not only a humanitarian issue, but also a barbaric form of denial by autocratic Azerbaijan of the fundamental human rights of the people of Artsakh and denial of the people's right to self-determination, their right to live freely and in dignity. As a national human rights institution, I have constantly warned the international community about the crimes committed by Azerbaijan not only during the 44-day war, but also after the war. People were killed, including civilians. Hundreds were subjected to attempted murder by Azerbaijani military forces. Agricultural works were intentionally obstructed, and attacks aimed at creating an atmosphere of psychological intimidation and fear were purposefully carried out by the Azerbaijani authorities. Azerbaijan's actions demonstrate that the autocratic regime of Azerbaijan continues to adhere to a coordinated, systematic, and consistent policy aimed at keeping the population of Artsakh in constant terror and fear and creating unbearable living conditions. The goal of this policy is the ethnic cleansing of Artsakh and the complete exclusion of people from their homeland. Honorable Chair, distinguished members of the committee, the people of Artsakh have proven with their behavior that they are loyal to the democratic value system and are ready to overcome any challenge for those values. We just want not to be alone. We expect you to sympathize with our sufferings. We expect you to take responsibility for the protection of our rights and put an end to Azerbaijani impunity. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Stepanyan.